Time Out with CBS 11. I'm Andy Adler here with Sir George Teague. And George, it's good to see you. And you know what makes me so happy to say these words? 40-3.
Oh my gosh. You got another oh my gosh out of me. Because I think it was outstanding what the Dallas Cowboys did. We put together a complete game. It was full offense, defense, special teams. What more can we ask for
I mean, I think it's a fair question. What more can we ask for? I'll tell you what we could ask for them to do exactly that they did against the Vikings, against the Giants. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the game that we saw on Sunday, because when it comes to Tony Pollard, when it comes to Zeke Elliott, and we're looking at this right here, what is your takeaway from a former Cowboys perspective?
I think the match is made in heaven. Okay, we got Zeke, who's pounding ground. He's just a physical runner. He hits it up in the hole the way he needs to. Pollard is the switch-up guy. He can go in and out. He is a slow to fast through type of guy once you're talking about the running game, but then having the threat of both of them out of the backfield for a passing play is key.
And no doubt that's key. I think that at this point, just to mention, DeMarcus Lawrence did not practice today, Tuesday. He's now dealing with illness, that in addition to his foot injury. So there could be an impact there. But really, I'm just so curious because we're hearing all these conversations about Odell Beckham Jr. And today, Dak Prescott was talking about it. He's like, look, we're having conversations. I'm calling him. We're doing a little back and forth. We know that Micah Parsons has done a little recruiting. Of course, Jerry Jones, but does that really leave an impact in terms of actually making a player be more inclined to go to a team?
Oh, absolutely it does. I think anytime you get a call from your friends, trying to make package deals or whatever it is, it always helps to be able to do that. Now, I do have to say that I'm not sure that I'm totally sold on OBJ being here. What will it do to the locker room? What kind of effect will it have? What will it do with play calling? Because now you're going to have more mouths to feed. I'd rather see us go get a cornerback, someone elite that can stop the other side, as opposed to maybe going to get OBJ.
Now, do you think that he would have a positive impact in the locker room, not just on the field, from what you've seen?
Absolutely, I do. I think I'm saying that just because of the reaction of the things that you just said a minute ago. Other teammates calling them. I know coaches can't call them. It's probably against the rules and things of those nature. But if you have a lot of guys reaching out to you, when he comes in, takes his trip, goes through his physical, it will definitely be something that he highly considers.
Okay, so I just want to circle back now for a moment to DeMarcus Lawrence, because in terms of the kind of impact that DeMarcus leaves on the field, what are you seeing and what do you think that Cowboy fans can expect?
I like this guy a lot, and I hate that he's dealing with things with his foot. Or any type of illness that he has. But what he brings is veteran leadership, who knows all the techniques. When we were talking about the running play, if you watch him, you can see how he's able to counteract what people try to do with him. You can see that he's a force in the run and the pass. Add that leadership to the locker room, he becomes the type of guy that we need to have on our team all the time.
I mean, leadership in the locker room, we're seeing everything sort of come together. I mean, is the run defense cured, or is this something that is just a temporary situation where we can enjoy it for the moment?
I wouldn't go that it's cured. Against the Minnesota Vikings, we still gave up about almost 6 yards of carry or whatever. But what they did do is forced them into a situation where they can control the outcome, where they can make the plays. What I saw in this game,
tell me,
Andy, what I saw in this game was aggressiveness that we hadn't seen before. The linebackers did get downhill. They reacted to the outside runs with more energy and urgency than they did before. And the attitude, that's the key factor. The attitude was, bring it on, we're going to get there and let's do it. And that made the difference.
No doubt about that. Coming off that Green Bay game, you knew they were going to come in hungry, and you felt it all week coming into this game. And, there were so many impressive aspects. And you talked a little bit about the attitude being the most important, impressive thing. But what about the most impressive person? Who was your standout?
Oh, well, man, you're making it tough, because the guy that I picked was actually Dak Prescott, and I think he had a heck of a game. I went back and watched all 22. I was trying to look for what kind of mistakes did he make. There wasn't very many things going on. He went through all of his progressions, looked at all of his reads. If it wasn't there, he took the check down. You know, but on the defensive side, Michael Parsons coming out, third play of the game, sack, fumble, sets the tempo, you know. So I don't know if you're asking me for one guy.
I'm asking you for one guy, and I'm asking you. I think Pollard was your guy to watch. I think Dak was my guy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with Dak being the most. I think he had the most pressure on him.
He did.
To perform. He put the guarantee out there, and the way he played, he answered it.
And you know I love a guarantee. I mean, you know I love a guarantee. Do you want to give us a guarantee for Thursday?
Yeah, I'm going to guarantee that we're going to win this game.
That's some confidence. Okay.
About them. I did get ahead a little bit, go ahead and watch a little bit of New York Giants tape. And I don't think they're as good as they were the first time that we played them.
Right.
I got to do some more studying, but I think we're a better football team. I think the home crowd is going to be behind us. They're going to have the turkey leg sitting out there. They got something else to play for. It's going to be good.
Cowboys taking on the Giants Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, and it's a quick turnaround. You've been there before. I mean, there's definitely a different mindset when you've only got a few days to get back out there on the field.
You cannot imagine how hard it is. It's doable, obviously, right? But you can't imagine how hard it is to put your body back together, snap the arm back in place, put the knee back on the way you got to do it, and get ready to play for a Thursday game after that Sunday. The guys take a lot of pride in taking care of their bodies. Are they going to see masseuse? Are they going to the chiropractors? What do they have to do with the ice tub? So it really messes up your routine because you're trying to go into a 7-day routine, 6-day routine instead of 3 or 4 days.
So what's the key to success, George?
Rest. The coaches got to be ahead of the game to be able to, in which they are. I know they probably already looked at some of this on the game film, so that they can give the guys. So you're not out there banging like you might normally do on Wednesday or Thursday. You know, you got.
So you're out there banging.
Banging, hitting.
I didn't think, by the way, I don't know what you were thinking.
No, hitting. They're being physical. You can't do all the inside runs. You can't do all the short yardage goal line things because that causes more aches and body pain. So when we say bang, it is the shoulder pads going bang, bang, bang.
Like it was sort of like going out.
No music in this one.
I think that there's also the mind frame too, because they understand that, as we said, going into Sunday's game, it's a 5-game period where you're talking about, first you got the Vikings, the Giants. These are not just games that you could throw away. These are vital games, and these are the kinds of games that will be the difference between whether or not we see them playing in mid-January.
Yes, this stretch run is probably the most critical. I know we say every game matters, right? We take it one game at a time. A lot of the cliches, but man, this is super critical. The NFC East packed is very tight. You can't afford to lose any games, especially in a division game. So this game means just as much as the Minnesota Vikings game. So I hope that the energy is brought by the coaching staff and the players, most importantly the fans, on this Thursday.
And the fans are going to bring it. There's no question about that. I mean, last time they played, the Giants, they played at Giant Stadium. So they didn't have the Cowboy fans, although thousands of Cowboy fans were there. That being said, there's a lot of differences this time around. First of all, the fans are going to be, you're at home. Second, Monday Night Football. Third, you got a lot of injuries when it comes to the Giants. And then, of course, from the Cowboys' perspective, you got Dak in this game. Dak didn't play the last time they played each other.
No, you hit all the points on the head. I think that the part that you really talked about is the injuries that they have. Now they lose a top receiver.
Right.
That hurts. Daniel Jones is going to have to run around a little bit, but he don't have people to throw to. So do we hone in on the box and try to make sure we're stopping Saquon Barkley? Of course we do. But now that our offense is rolling as well, they got to worry about our monsters
Right.
on our side of the ball.
And we've got some monsters. I mean, what we saw from Micah Parsons, he just continues to impress. And I did think it was interesting, Dak and Micah, the conversations that they're having. And that's something that I think a lot of members on the Dallas Cowboys, they have these conversations offline. And they're not the, hey, yeah, have a great game. They're conversations that are far bigger than that. In this case, Dak's talking to Micah, and they're talking about greatness and what Dak is telling him, listen, you have the ability to be something that is one of the you could be a legend in this game. And I think, did you have conversations like that? Can you remember any certain conversations of either someone talking to you and leaving that kind of an impact or vice versa?
Absolutely, and it's definitely different coming to the Dallas Cowboys and playing with some of the guys. I can remember many times where I talked to Darren Woodson, who I hope gets in the Hall of Fame. But just all the energy that he gave me about being a better safety, playing complementary football within our scheme, having guys like Deion Sanders who were there, who could talk to me about what positions I need to be in to be a better football player. That's why I love playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Not that I didn't want to be anywhere else or that I didn't like the Packers or something of that nature, because I did. It's just the makeup that we had here with the coaching staff and the players led to a lot of success for me personally.
Yeah, there's something very special there. There's also kind of something special about playing on Thanksgiving. It's like when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of food, family,
and football.
I mean, look, that's what it was me growing up. And I grew up watching football with my family. That was Thanksgiving. As a player, there's something special about playing on Thanksgiving. It's special and it's kind of an honor, isn't it?
It is, but I guess I'd like to ask you too, is that the order that you go in? Food, football? Family, football. Which way you actually go when it comes to?
That is a good question. I feel like they're pretty even across the board. I think for me personally, it was always football. Over the last several, decade or so, it's been about a decade, I've worked on Thanksgiving. So it was maybe football, food, and then family.
Yeah. Well, now it's definitely the food for me first, because I start eating early in the morning.
Right.
Because Sweater's always telling me, get out of the kitchen. You can't have none of this yet. But I'm trying to find every sample that I can. And then we turn on the games,
sure.
Right? And we're going to have plenty of family in, so I think it's going to be great. Now, what do they have to do for this? This is like the Monday night game. It's more hype because it's on a Thursday during the day. Everybody all around the country and out of the country watching these type of games, right? Just because it brings a totally different feel and atmosphere. So playing on Thursdays was definitely different. It was an honor to be called in to play at 3 o'clock on a Thursday for some football.
Important question. What's your favorite food on Thanksgiving? I mean, this is important stuff we need to know. I know listen, you're a big barbecue guy, but favorite food at the dinner table on Thanksgiving Day, George?
Well, my wife definitely loves to cook on this, and so, for me, it's kind of simple. I got to have the collard greens. Okay. Yeah, if you want to look at the vegetables. On the meat, I'm actually a ham guy and not turkey. I don't know if that messes you up or not.
I feel like turkey and Thanksgiving, like
I know, but that baked ham, man, that baked ham is something else, So we'll do deep fried turkeys. Yeah. We'll have the baked turkey. We'll do all of that kind of stuff. But the veggies, man, I just got to have it all. I got to have the macaroni and cheese. I got to have the collard greens. And I'm a Southern boy, so we're going to have chitlins or chitterlings, as people may say as well. But
do you know that I don't know what that is?
Well,
Do you know that I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Well, I could gross you out and tell you that it's pig intestines, but.
Okay, it's okay that I didn't know what it was. It's okay, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Thanksgiving is gonna be a fun day. I'm watching these games. You wanna leave us with a little prediction?
I think this is gonna be a rout. I don't know if no, I'm not overconfident like everyone else.
Right.
But I think they don't score many points. I think we hold them to 10 points. So I'm going to go with a 31-10 score.
31-10. I think it's going to be a tighter game than that. I really do. I feel like the last thing that the Cowboys want to do right now is get a little too comfortable. They got a little too comfortable with Green Bay. I feel like they changed their mentality when it came to the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings got a little too comfortable playing the Bills, and they didn't have the right mentality when they were playing the Cowboys. I feel like I will keep saying this: don't eat the cheese. I'm going to say, like, eat the turkey. And don't eat whatever the heck you were talking about.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's bet a turkey leg on it.
Okay.
You know,
we're doing this right now.
Somewhere.
Let's do this right now.
We got a little turkey leg on this.
It's on. It's on. I say right. Cowboys win this thing. As long I just feel like you just can't get too comfortable. Do what you did against the Vikings, period.
That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do.
All right, famous last words. I love it. And it's great to see you as always. Sir George Teague, thanks for taking a time out with CBS 11 Sports. I'm Andy. That's George. We'll see you next time.